What's going on? What's going on? We are live. Live. Greg said it live. This is not our first live, but I thought I'll just go ahead and differentiate between some of my videos when we do our lives. Just show up under the live category. It just sounds good. Greg said it live because I'm going to say it live. I am Greg. This is Greg said it. Shout out to all my followers and subscribers and all that good stuff. Appreciate everyone who like, who share, who comment and support us. You know, we got some very good people who support this channel. And yeah, I call this the Colorado Buffaloes Hypocrisy Theory of mine. And it's based off of some things that I've been seeing. You probably only gonna hear this on Greg Said It. You know, every now and then I jump on other people's channel and I kind of talk about it and mention it. And you know, this is definitely a Greg Said It special here. I have a theory, right? I have a Colorado Buffalo theory. It's unique to Colorado Buffalo. It's not unique to college football. It's not unique to Power Five. It's unique to Colorado Buffaloes, especially with Coach Prime. And my theory is this: there's nothing Colorado can do right. And anything that they do that somebody else doing is wrong. It's bad. It's it's something that it's nothing different. It's nothing special about it. But if another team do it, another program do it, it's exceptional. And I think it really is attached to Coach Prime more than anything. It's not like I believe if Colorado had a different coach, I believe it would be just normal stuff. And so we already know what Coach Prime brings to the table. We bring a lot of publicity. He brings a lot of eyeballs. Nobody can debate that. They can debate a lot of things that we're going to talk about, but they can't debate that Coach Prime is the secret sauce to this thing. I mean, he brings all the people will say, why did Coach Prime do all that? They didn't just stick to playing football. This fits into my theory. They need to just stick to playing football and da 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 da. As if other coaches don't come up with a little pizzazz and a little stuff at every level to get the team hyped, to get the fans hyped, to get the eyeballs on their team. But it actually works for Coach Prime. It actually works for him because he's the one who, when he do it, it just blows up. When he do it, it goes viral. When he do it, he got well off media, reach the people, you know, multiple 100,000. All his guys over 100,000 now. Neely don't cross the 100,000. Reach the people cross the 100,000 second, and then you have well off a few 100,000, right? So everything they put out, and a lot of these stuff crossover, but they also have their own people. Just like some of my stuff crossover, and then I have my own, you know, people as well. And it's like anything he put out instantly, it looks a lot bigger. It looks a lot better or a lot worse. But when that hate get to flowing, just regular stuff starts to look very bad. Like, you know, if everybody else showed their practices, it wouldn't be no big deal. Nobody watching it. Right? Yeah, if some spies get out there, they'll catch some stuff. But nobody can scrutinize what they don't see. Nobody can know you even out there. But when you got the buzz and everybody looking for you and watching your every move like a celebrity, because he is a celebrity with a football team, everything that he do is extra scrutinized. Yeah, that's part of my theory of hypocrisy, because you can't tell me that everything that he's doing is so different. Appreciate that. Hit that like button. That boy Rico. Appreciate that. What happens when you do some regular activity and people just nitpick everything you do, nitpick everything you say? You put a rug on your carpet, said, you know, not before you enter with Shalom, and it's like, oh, they don't want certain people. That's what they've been going through. So when you talk about what this team went through, I was telling somebody yesterday. They was like, you know, Colorado, da 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 da. You know, everybody talk about what they need to do. Like I said, about they didn't just play football and just let go all the fluff. But when you got somebody with everything you do people gonna put a twist on it because they hate us. Everything you do, they're gonna make it a negative thing. They're gonna look too deep into things. With this whole Kamani situation, it's like a soap opera, man. You hope they really keep their guys tight because you look at the fact these are kids. What they say, I don't want to deal with all this because if I was in any other program, nobody on the public eye would be paying attention. Maybe a few little geeks falling around who really super duper fans that's extremists would know what I'm doing. But you got it's almost like TMZ. Like you don't flip what Bucky's doing to TMZ. You using his content to create theories about where's Kamani, where's this, who ain't there. It's fun and games, until it becomes like stalkerish or just drama. You just creating drama that's not there. It becomes an issue when it's a lie, when it's a rumor. You create rumors. I hope it's not a fan who's creating rumors. I hope not. I hope it's just a hater out there creating a rumor because you creating a distraction that has nothing to do with football. Now you taking stuff that's not even on the camera and making it something else. This is what Colorado has to deal with. So when you talk about what happened to them last year, they had players I talked about earlier this week. Go back, check out some of the content. Players clashing. We saw Dylan Edwards come out last week. We reached the people admitting that, hey, we was beefing on the inside. Like our team would have beat you last. You on the same team now. And I did a whole video on that. Go check it out. Probably like Monday or Tuesday. About, Coach Prime warned us. You see the picture of Coach Prime on there. And it's like you got the whole situation where Jackson State guys come in, dogging out Colorado guys. They all saw all right, and we was a good team. Y'all was at FCS. We at FBS, da. And they clashing with each other the whole time. They supposed to be getting ready for off season, spring. And that's before everybody kind of ran off. Some of them already ran off in the portal. And the rest of them was, about to hit the portal before we had to build a whole new team in the summer. And you kind of got that whole, it's like an all-star team mentality where I'm not really on this team. I'm just here for the temporary. So you get a whole bunch of grad transfers come in. I even heard Ellis say on his interview, he probably didn't realize what he was saying, but he was like, I didn't go to class. I just went to practice and went back home. So I wasn't really trying to build no connection with the coach because I knew I was out here in a few months. And he didn't even really get to play, and he went on and retired, basically, because he never recovered. And that's another weird thing. I never seen so many guys come in the portal you use scholarships for that's not going to play because they're injured. I know Ellis was one of them. I know Travis J was one of them. I know Alto McCaskill was one of them. Vito was one of them. Like, we had so many guys to bring in from the transfer portal. It reminds me of what the Falcons doing with Cousins. I just heard yesterday that Cousins got 130, $140 million, and he's not going to be able to play the week 6. It's like you pay somebody that kind of money to miss half the season. That's what I feel like with Colorado. I don't know if that's a complaint or what. That's just a side note. Like, we brought in all those guys who supposed to be contributors, and they barely played. They couldn't play. Their injury just hasn't progressed enough to be able to be healthy. And a lot of them coming back. But we had these guys coming from different teams saying, hey, my team was better than yours. And I saw Shadoze and Mateo doing the same thing when they first came out. And then Shadoze finally said, well, forget them. I'm on this team now. And maybe Bucky stopped recording it, or maybe they stopped doing it. But it's like, that was a thing that concerned me. But this is what that team dealt with. They dealt with, the coaches, and I think, again, that spotlight brings an animal out of people. Like, I'm getting the spotlight. My name is out there. I'm finna go ahead and lead a band and go start my own. Like when you look at Sean Lewis, there's no way Sean Lewis had that kind of buzz without Colorado for him to kind of leverage it and go on, especially with the type of season he had. But those things broke up the team, and it existed from the foundation. And I don't know. I can say who I can blame, but. Hopefully they don't do that this year. Said Falcons tripping, they gave $140 million on the bench. Absolutely. And then he only won. So you get the playoff, you got this thing over your head, like, oh, he only ever won one game. So it's like, what is the upside? Hopefully they get 2 quarterbacks like the Steelers did. Like Steelers got Russell and Fields, maybe. Let them fight it out. But they put a lot of money in that one dude. So I don't know. But that's a side note. That's me being in Atlanta, kind kind of hearing stuff and whatever. I ain't even that big. I'm more of a Colorado fan than the Falcons, because I just like the whole thing. And it goes back to my theory. This is what's been bothering me. I really want to talk about this. A lot of people are still questioning the offensive line. And like everybody wanted our offensive lineman. And that's what gets me. People lose their stars to come to Colorado. They get harassed by coaches, taunted by their own folks, saying you're a clout chaser to go to Colorado, as if clout chasing ain't been going on to go to Alabama and Clemson and all the other big schools. Like you wasn't running around showing your offers that, hey, I got a letter from Georgia. But now it's like a byword to go to Colorado, which is weird. So when you look at the fact that you come to this school, now you really weren't that good anyway. Old boy came here. I think he was coming from the other lineman from Indiana. He came. He was Indiana or Houston. Y'all help me remember. I think we had two linemen. I think it was the other lineman from Houston, and he ended up committing and jumping over there to Oregon. You ain't heard nothing else about him. But everybody who came to Colorado, they come here, they was never that good anyway. We go look at their film, they rolling over people from Texas, Alabama, and I thought they weren't that good. It's like you don't know what to believe until you actually see the film. Shout out to Buff and Prime, they showed the little film. They're gonna have a field day because they're gonna be able to look at a lot of film. It's good from transfers and from my guys from last year to really show what's really good. Because how do you say the player is good enough to go to your school? Yeah, Bedford. I think he was at Houston. Was he at Houston, Indiana? I think he was at Houston. And you gets to go and trash the guy until he come to Colorado. I mean, we go to Colorado, but he goes somewhere else, he good. Spring practice start tomorrow. The first team defense is going to be on the field ready. And I just don't know how much we're going to see. I just feel like, and rightfully so, I don't blame him because I don't want no excuses this year. Yeah, Bedford came from Houston. Yeah, because I remember he was on the same film with Tyler Johnson. I don't want no excuses this year with the whole, giving away stuff because we ain't got time for that. So my thing is, how do you get to the point where you can say, oh, well, he wasn't that good anyway, and we see it on the film. And I'm just wondering, where is that line really drawn? That's what's been getting me. What was that line really drawing where Colorado will actually get any kind of credit? Yeah, I'm talking about Colorado Buffalo hypocrisy. I don't know, people popping up in here to hear something negative. I'm talking about hypocrisy from the standpoint that Colorado Buffaloes can do the same exact thing and they can get trashed, and the other coach doing the same thing. That's hypocrisy to me. Or that a guy can be good, top lineman in the portal, but he come to Colorado, oh, he wasn't that good anyway. Didn't he get letters from everybody else too? But because he come to Colorado, he's not good enough. That's hypocrisy to me. That's an extreme bait and switch. You love him till he come to Colorado, and then he loses his credibility, he loses his stock. Jordan Seaton coming, he's the biggest lineman, everybody want him. Then he come to Colorado, and it's like, well, he's not that good. He wasn't really going to play. Well, he might play at Colorado because they suck. And it's like, it gets really weird. When you kind of like hate on that level. And that's why I call it hypocrisy. This is my hypocrisy theory. It's like them games back in the day where you blindfold somebody and you say, what is that? And, oh, this is great. Then you see, oh, it's something that you didn't like or something made by somebody else. And you be like, well, it wasn't that good. It's like, you take the Colorado label off this product, and I think the hype is legit. But when you put Coach Prime on it, oh, we're going to wait and see. Oh, he don't know how to coach. Now, I did see a video clip by the pregame show yesterday by Coach Hart. He was in there lecturing. He seemed like he's getting better at his lectures. I really want to see what he's coaching on. I'm not a Coach Prime hater. I'm not a Coach Hart hater. But I did play some linebacker, and I played, that a lot, especially later in my career, on a more strategic aspect of it. And it's like, what's going on when I see the product? And that's the issue in linebacker play, period, across. But Colorado is really weird. But I want to know, what do we have to do? I know you got to win, and I'm sorry to say we're not going to get to see it in the spring. I just don't see Bucky showing like you see he's showing like the reactions more than he's showing the actual content. So he's not really going to show us a lot because he's not going to expose our players. And I think that's fair because I don't want nobody to feel like, oh, we see his weakness, or oh, we want to catch him slipping. They don't need to see the weaknesses of our players. We don't need to get that away. And that kind of hurt because we kind of used to having access to that and kind of like, yeah, it's like pregame content where we really feel connected. So I don't know. I mean, maybe just gonna show more behind the scenes. I don't know. We're gonna show the one-on-ones to show what the cornerbacks are struggling with, or what the receivers are able to get away with, what routes we're struggling with. I don't see us showing that. Maybe show the last second of the play or at the beginning of the play, he cut out. So we're not gonna get to see it. But I just don't, I looking at the old film, I saw Tyler Johnson, I saw Justin Mayer, even saw Khalil Benson. Those three guys. We haven't seen the Jordan Seaton yet, and people say that's just high school. He bigger than everybody. That's true. We want to see him against college talent. We've seen these boys play against some of the best college talent that they played last year. It don't take a whole lot, and we've seen them, hold their own. And we know for a fact our line last year didn't hold their own. We know that. It's not like that's not a theory. We fresh enough. We're not that far away removed when we watch our line just get drove into the backfield like they JV going against varsity. We watched our line not be able to, read, the schemes and the stunts that the team. It's just, two guys kind of look at one guy run by. Oh, you don't block now, guy. We seen that, and we know the difference. We know the difference. Don't insult our intelligence. Can somebody understand? I mean, it's one thing to be a fan, but come on. You're not really gonna show one. But if a lineman gets beat by a DT, then they're gonna say he trashing. But we don't need to show it. I take what I want to see away for the better man. We don't need to show nothing. We don't need to show nothing. Appreciate your East Coast Kev. You think the people hate Prime now? Wait until he starts winning. The hatred and racism will explode. I'm excited for it. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know how much it is racism as much as it is hateism. See, it's that. I don't think that a lot of the people hating on him is because he black. Because if he was their coach, they'll love him. See, we can say, oh, TCU called him N-word, but if he was at TCU, they'll love him. See, people say what they can say to get up under your skin. If he was at TCU, they would love him. He'd be running around there praying and all. They would love Shador and Travis to come to TCU. See, the difference between racism and hateism, the racists don't want you around if they had the opportunity because they racist. You black or whatever, they don't want no black folks on their team. Clearly, they had plenty of black people on their team. So they saying what to get up under your skin. You best believe TCU fans would have loved to have Travis Hunter. We seen too many of them taking pictures with him at the game. It was too many of them want to take pictures. Everywhere these boys go, they don't show you, and we see how behind the scenes how all the other team fans want to take pictures with our players after the game because they are generational talents. Shador is a generational talent. Travis is a generational talent. They gonna say what they say to get up on their skin, but they really, really wish they was on their team. They gonna say what they want about Coach Prime and what he's doing. They really wish they had him. And now that they seeing the result, he did at Jackson State. That's cute. He's at HBCU. Oh, but he did at Colorado. Oh, but maybe he come do it at our school. So I'm hating on the fact that it's like a girl you hate on. You ugly anyway. You wanted her, and she dogged you out, and now she ugly because she didn't want you. Or she ugly, and it's really immature. It's really immature. That Ali, Jack Johnson, Mayweather. Yeah, I mean, I didn't say racism didn't exist, but then we get into a whole wormhole of what is racism. Because racism is nothing but ignorance. And I do believe people use you and be racist. That's partial. But I don't think most of the hate he getting is from race because black people dogged him out at Jackson State. What we call that? Blackism. That was racism, reverse racism. See, when people get competitive, I don't know if you all follow Jackson State. I'm gonna give y'all a little run through. When Coach Prime came to Jackson State, I'm in Atlanta. A lot of people from Jackson State live in Atlanta. You know, they do a good job recruiting. A lot of people in the band go play at Jackson State. They dog Coach Prime out. They dog Coach Prime out. I know people personally, black as can be, sorority, you name it. They dog Coach Prime out. It had nothing to do with race. It had to do with it may be race for this person. This person may be, oh, he arrogant. He thinks he got money. The hate don't care what it use. If racism is available to use to be a hater, that little animal spirit, whatever you want to call it, gonna use it against you, and they're gonna use that. If racism, if I got jealousy in me, it's gonna use jealousy. If I got, you know, insecurity in me, then him being confident is gonna bother me. You know, it's whatever is gonna available. So everybody that hating on him ain't racist. You got some jealous people, you got some insecure people. You know, you got hating. Like hating to me is more so like, oh, you know, it's more competitive. Like you ain't with my team, so I'm against you. You know, like people do in football. Like I hate the Cowboys because they go against my team. But if I was a Cowboy fan, or you know, or if the quarterback left the Cowboys and become part of my team, I'm cool with him because he's on my team now. It gets so most of it is just that competitive hate in nature. It's like, you know, I can't benefit from you, so I'm just gonna be a hater, you know. But Jackson State had this thing going on where his own fan base hated on him because he rubbed them wrong with the traditions. Like he wanted to get rid of certain classics and certain things. Then he started pointing out flaws in their system, you know, how the school was ran. He like same way what old boy did, what Ed Reed did when he went to Bethune. They heard him got Bethune out, got him out of there because he started exposing all the you know, you cut lights on, see the roaches and rodent scatter. He started exposing their weaknesses and their traditions, like what need to be changed. And you know, traditionalists, they don't like that. Everybody don't like change. So Coach Prime made a lot of changes. It was positive, clear. He got a new football team, new facilities, and the whole time he was doing it, we don't need all that. We was good before he got here. He ain't the first time we won. We won 10 years ago. You know, and like they didn't want him to get credit for their culture, their history. Well, we had Hall of Famers come through before. We had people go to NFL before. They didn't want him to get credit for nothing. I already knew it was a wrap. There's no way he could stay there when the fan base, the alumni was split. It wasn't like rah, rah, rah for the team. It was like, why should he get credit for this? Oh, why he want to change this? We've been doing that. I knew it was a wrap. That's with his own people, you know. Then yeah, I'll get to that. Then, you know, what happened after that is he started whooping all the other HBCUs, and he had way better talent. People talk about that he's better coach. They were just talented. They had some better coaching. They weren't necessarily way better coaches than the other people, but they had way better talent. And they just, on their worst day, they could beat everybody. They can play sloppy and beat you by 21. And it's one that they were just exceptionally coached. A lot of people had that point. They wasn't that great a coach. Maybe they weren't bad coaches, but it just was way better than everybody. So after you do that year one, year two, and they look like, oh, we ain't gonna never be able to beat him. We got more 5 stars ready to come. He started getting 5 stars like Travis Hunter. That's an unfair advantage that never was had. It separated him from the team. So that made them really, it made his own people jealous of him. Now you got the jealousy. I was scared his own people would take him out. It was no white people involved. It was his own people. Like, now you got advantage on us. You embarrassing us because you got the cameras down there. Bucky came pretty much that second year, and technically that third year when his channel took off, and it just took off, and everybody was watching it. And it was like, now he embarrassing us. Now you seen that guy come out. He ain't swag, you know, Ed Robinson Jr. And that was more so. They say this the black dude hating on him. Coach Brown like, why he hate him? I'm lifting up all the black. It was jealous. They whooped the mess out of them. They bring their best game, and you can't beat them. So you don't want to shake his hand, throwing shots at him. It was more raggedy there because it's in a smaller community than it was in the Pac-12. Yeah, he fell out with one coach in the Pac-12, and he fell out with old boy who wanted to be a little coat rider at Colorado State. That's what happened, and that was a black guy. He was jealous. You know, but Yeah. So he said, please explain if they want to be rappers or going to Colorado, all these coaches, you want to join that gang up there. Okay. Again, that's what other coaches say. I didn't say racism didn't exist. I didn't say that they don't have, and then again, go back to ignorance. That's what racism is. Like you're making comments. Okay, let's say they are racist. Now let's ask how many of those people who said that actually hang around black people. I'll wait. Show me anybody who will make that comment who actually have black friends, who actually been around black people other than BET and social media, who actually know a real black person, not the guy who work across the cubicle across the hall from a black person, the one token black person. Racism is based off ignorance. So a lot of times people make comments like that. We'll call them racist. A lot of them people just ignorant. It's like a black person, a white person saying, "Let me touch your hair." It looks so, and they so curious, and they want to touch your hair. Your hair's all coarse and curly, and theirs is straight. And you go straighten your hair out, look like them. And culturally, been going on for years, and they looking at your hair, like, oh, it's so beautiful. They touching your hair. You like, they don't even know. Black people, give me 50 feet. You don't touch me. They don't even know the cultural rules. A lot of people say crap because they're ignorant, just like a child say stuff that they shouldn't say. When we got a child that they say anything out their mouth, your breath stink. They don't know they shouldn't say that. It's some people who are just ignorant. We don't live long enough to know that everybody who say some crap, you should know that everybody who say some ignorant crap ain't racist. They just ignorant. They don't know certain stuff you shouldn't say. You know, that's a given. They because that. But I said I'm not talking about liking. I'm talking about ignorance. Like if a person actually had a relationship with black people, that black person would tell them, "Hey, you don't supposed to say that." They don't know no better. You can't assume that every ignorant thing a person say is malice. Now, when it comes to that recruiting, they was being malice. They was being messy. They was being like, it was saying whatever they can to try to curb people away from Colorado. But we dare not say that every coach said that. We know that some coaches did, but we can dare not to say that every coach. We know we dare not to say that Nick Saban will say that. Kirby Smart probably wouldn't say that. And then you also got to look at the fact that when you make a comment like that, are you insinuating race or are you insinuating culture and your ignorance of the culture? Like, are you know that Bucky out there rapping, they play rap music, and when they working out, they play rap music on the field. They got a whole different culture that Coach Prime has brought to college football, right? They all the kids want to rap. So they may have said it wrong and it sound racist, but they kind of got a point. But when you ignorant as all get out, you as foolish as all be, you gonna sound like the KKK when you say some crap like that. And maybe you got a little in you. That don't mean you racist. Maybe you got a little touch of some ignorance in you, and you don't. But when you repeat something like that, it's like, is that racist? Everything that people say that's out of touch, it sound racist, but you don't know that person's intent. I'm not saying that they don't have the intent. I'm not saying that some of them didn't have the intent. I don't live long enough. I don't been around enough people. I don't live life enough to know that happens. And it ain't just black or it's some people say some insensitive stuff towards Asians that you shouldn't say that. You're like, oh, I just heard people say it. I thought that was, no, you shouldn't say that. There's certain things you just shouldn't say that it become culturally acceptable. That's offensive to a culture. So somebody say you just want to be a rapper. They was mad that you was leaving Colorado, but that may be what they associate with Colorado. Cause I mean, you got Shador rapping, you got Bucket rapping. His whole intro is rapping. A lot Jimmy, all of them talking about rapping all the time. It's not like they making it up. Now, if their intent is to be racist, only they will know that. But you can't be so. That's what we talking about. That can be a hypocrisy because it's like Colorado put themselves out there like rappers. All of them got chains. And if I don't know how to really like process that, and I'm ignorant of the rap culture, I would put it all together too. I know that the chains and all that is part of the hip hop culture. It ain't part of the country culture. So, when Jordan Seaton joined that team, the first thing he went and got was a chain. They got, every time you look up on Well Off, every other episode, they got the guy making the diamonds on there. That's very much associated with the rap culture historically. It was gold chains at first, then it went to diamonds on my neck. We can't be sensitive to that because it is what it is. It is what it is. Everybody, is not doing it on that level, is what I'm saying. Somebody said the Lakers have rappers on their sidelines. Yeah. But you gotta also think about the Lakers ain't got videos every other day with their players with chains on their neck too. So a person looking in on the outside will say, oh, that's what you want. You want to go over there with the chains around your neck. And I don't know much about Kirby Smart. He could be. He might be. I don't know. Everybody accused is what they say. I know people lie too. I know Coach Prime been accused of some stuff too. I can't defend none of them. But what I can say is, when that coach said, "Don't drink the Kool-Aid," that was funny. And they see that's a good example. That's a good example of sensitivity. If somebody say, "Don't drink the Kool-Aid." Oh, so what you trying to say? All black folks drink Kool-Aid? That's all we drink? Because Kool-Aid is a cultural thing with black people, but also Kool-Aid, the term Kool-Aid has something to do with brainwashing, like Jim Jones and the purple Kool-Aid. That's not a black thing. But see, you put it together and you make it about race. If you say it to the black person, they come from a white person, it's racist. And it's like, that's what this world has turned into. Like, even when somebody be racist, it ain't gonna be worth a crap. It's gonna be like the boy cried rule. I never said there was no racist people out here. But when a person actually be racist and you don't lump everybody else in as racist with them, you don't even know the freaking difference between the real and the fake. You don't know if I just said something out of context or if I said something trying to be funny and I don't know context or culture. And I'm really not racist, but it sounded racist because I said it to a black person and I'm white. Versus a real racist say something and you lump me in a category with him. I've been around enough black people. I've been around black people my whole life. You can't. I'm a super duper PhD in black. My neighborhood right now black. I ain't in the suburbs. I went to black high school right in Metro Atlanta. Grew up in black. Blackity black. I've been all around it. I know it inside and out of black. I went to college to try to learn to be a little diverse. I wanted to be more diverse intentionally because I know I'm full of black. I know it inside and out. So, showing their races behind. Oh, I'm sure it is racist people out here, but you won't know because they're gonna blend in. It's funny till someone says it to your child, and nobody say it was funny, but they may think it's funny. They may think it's funny when they say it. They may, in their ignorance, just run their mouth off and they might be trying to shoot shots, but they may not be trying to be racist. They may be trying to insult you. I say, oh, you just want to be a little gangster rapper, but they may not be trying to be racist. Because I guarantee you that same coach is recruiting your black son. He also got black players on his team he recruited. And I'm not even saying that just because they recruit you, they ain't racist either. But I'm also not saying that your own folks can't dog you out with your own skin color and treat you worse than a racist. They might as well be another color. Far as their intent on how they treat you in the comments they make some racist, stereotypical comments to you too. Don't tell me about it because I've been around black my whole life and I don't have plenty of black coaches that say some questionable stuff. I had white coaches that say some questionable stuff. And guess what? I'm smart enough to know the difference. I only hope that everybody here, people say something to them smart enough because we grown. We grown. We not children. I don't expect my children to know the difference. That's why they got me. I expect them and see, I lived enough life to know your tone and your intent. I ain't stupid. So whether you black, white, purple, or green, I already know where you coming from. Or I'm gonna dig down in it and see where you coming from. I know the difference between a white person being ignorant and I know the difference between them trying to be racist. Because y'all, first of all, you gotta understand this is an energy, this is a spirit thing. So you're supposed to feel it. You're supposed to know, oh, they ain't really mean it. Prejudice. Yeah, so then we get into wordplay. Like prejudice, racist, You get into supremacy. Then we get into all these things that we've been dealing with politically over the last few years that cause a lot of stuff to be twisted in the same way this football get twisted. I'm just saying that, I think everybody prejudiced to an extent. So when we use the word prejudice, that means you have a preference. See, we don't, of course, you see, I don't have these conversations a long time, way before Greg said it. It's a whole different type of Greg said it here. And it's like, it's true people got prejudice, but prejudice is not a skin color thing. Prejudice is a preference. And also has to do with ignorance, because I can be black and talk about light skin versus dark skin. That's prejudice. Like, I don't like you because you light skin. I don't date dark skinned men. That's right there in your own community. That's prejudice. Or I don't like men that ain't got no money. That's prejudice. Because you have a preference. Now you go into not preference, discrimination. Now to use the term discrimination, I gotta have power to discriminate, because I can't discriminate against you without power. So if I discriminate you, I say I can't give you this job because you black, then that's discrimination. See all these words, and I'm a psychology guy through and through. So I believe all this stuff is actually going on, but I don't think that we can say in all cases exactly what it is, because we hear it from hearsay. Now, if you say it to me, I got a better understanding of what's really going on than if I heard it on social media and it's taken out of context, passed down through somebody else's lens and agenda, and they passing it to me. Then it can get taken out of context, and it wasn't even that. You say it to me, and then I'm gonna be able to discern it. Or if I heard somebody say it, I have secondhand discernment. But third, fourth, and fifth, and 100th, I can't really tell you. I'm not gonna be foolish enough to say, yeah, that was racist. It might have been, it might have been, you know. Even to see you stop laughing about, bro, stop talking about taking everything to heart. Yeah, yeah. And then I can get with that. Like, they did a good job. That CU, they got to, because they deal with this crap all the time. They deal with everything. They deal with the prejudice, racist, discrimination. They deal with it all. So they like where I'm coming from. They know it's all happening, but they can't take it to heart because they getting it like a flood of it. They put out videos and getting it. Like, I'm doing this, and like, you all can comment, people can comment. I get comments on the back end, and people say crazy stuff. Imagine with 100,000, 300,000 subscribers, they getting it. So they gotta have thick skin. This is a whole nother level. But at the same time, they cover a lot of stuff up too. Because even if it was racist, they not finna call it out, because they not finna go down that path of the victimhood. Like when Travis got rocked, and we said, "Oh, that was just football." That wasn't no football. They wanted to get him, and they wanted to get him before the game because he was talking back and forth with him before the game, and he was already targeted anyway. And they was playing dirty because they really couldn't beat him, and they was playing dirty. All of them, they came in with that attitude. But they was like, "Oh, it's just football." That wasn't no football. That was unsportsman. It was all kinds of stuff. But they're gonna say, "Hey, it was just that." So we know that they'll cover some stuff up too. They'll play politically correct too. They'll play politically correct. So ain't that going on with the team? Then the Amazon documentary come out, and then Dylan and all them interviewing after. Yeah, we had all kinds of problems. We had all kinds of beefs, and we didn't get along. It's like, we knew that the whole time, but it was acting like it was all good during the season. They was playing politically correct, which I guess you should do during the season, because you don't want that kind of stuff to sneak out. They already was in turmoil. They don't need the fans panicking, so they covered it up. So I don't need necessarily believe everything they say. I use my own analysis. It is what it is. I think we all got that right to use that. Sometimes it's accurate, sometimes it's not. I want to be as accurate as possible. I don't want to make an assumption on nobody's intent unless I know, especially if it has consequences. I'm not going to play myself either. Half of these coaches will say things about Coach Prime in Colorado, recruited Shador. Absolutely. They hate you as long as you playing for another team. And these same racist coaches would love to have the fact that they're trying to recruit the guy that they calling a rapper. You want to be a rapper, tells you that they want the same guys. We can say, well, that don't prove they ain't racist. Right. But I don't know if they was actually racist. You should be taking it to heart too. Taking to heart. I'm not going to take that to heart. That that was said. And this is a good point. Like in this world today, political, sports, uh, everything. This is social world. It's a social engineer thing. Now, I'm a psychologist guy. I know how this stuff works. There ain't nothing new going on. Even I can tell you the strategies. I got books on it. I've read them. I've heard people explain exactly how they engineer social disorder all over the world. And as I said, it's a whole nother Greg said it. This is the intellectual Greg said it, right? And a lot of stuff is designed to poke at you and manipulate it to control you. I refuse to be controlled. I hope you do too. You're not going to make me hate somebody because you hate them. You're not going to make me hate somebody because you're trying to turn me against them. I'm not a robot. Yeah, y'all getting the real Greg said it today. Well, say stand for the truth, nothing but the truth, the whole truth. Y'all look at that's my motto. Beyond football, it's about the truth. When I talk about Colorado, it's the truth. You know, I want the truth. I don't want your truth. I don't want the emotional, stirred up version of it. I don't want you to make me feel a certain way. You gonna turn me like a door. And I'm a grown man. I got my own brain. I got my own God who let me live all these years, about almost 40, to say, I got enough discernment to know what's going on. I don't need no doggone people who don't even care about me and don't have no good intentions for me to tell me what to think. They're already not trustworthy. The same people who telling me to hate somebody, I probably should be hating them if I'm gonna hate anybody, right? I just can't be moved like that. And that's why I do respect about Coach Prime. He know they coming at him, but he refused to bite into that. He refused, and we all can learn from that because we know he got haters, all kinds of the rainbow, all types of haters. He got every category we can explain here. So we ain't got to act like it's all one category. We got people who hate him because he's black. We got people hate him because he a man. We got people hate him because he a Christian. We got people hate him because he got money. We got people hate him because he confident. We got you every kind of hate. Because when you're on that platform, all the people and their raggedy issues is directed towards you. And how dare we put them in the same category? Because we know it ain't. We know everybody ain't got the same issues. Some people just hate him because he played for the Cowboys and beat them in the Super Bowl. Like weird stuff. And it's like, I guess it's cute at some levels, weirdly, when it comes to sports. Like, I don't like you because you are my rival. But when it become personal, when you hate somebody that ain't did nothing to you, and you hate them because the media said it, or you saw them on TV, and you caught a clip of it at that, and you assume their intent because you heard a clip, because they told you, you can't discern, you can't, what's the word, comprehend for me. I'm like, why you get to feed me clips of what a person did or said, and they had a nerve to hide the whole clip from me and to stir me up like a child. Like, let me hear the whole clip. Don't say, oh, you can't listen to that. No, you can't handle that. Let me feed it to you. This is what he meant. No, I determine what he meant. Appreciate you, but I determine what he meant. No, who are you? I'm mentally able to determine what he meant, right? And that's what we all gotta have. And I really, man, Coach Prime's situation really, really shows that, man. And this is sports. This ain't politics. This ain't nothing. This ain't business. This is like, this shows you don't matter what you are involved in, them same skills are required. And you dealing with the same issues to some degree. You dealing with the same issues. You're dealing with people and their issues. And it's hypocrisy at the end of the day. I call it the Colorado Buffalo Hypocrisy Theory. You get to treat this man differently. You get to hold him to a different standard than everybody else. He can't say this, but the other man can say something 10 times worse. You get to critique every little thing that he say, trying to catch him in a trap, but you ain't catching him in the trap. You're a hypocrite. You're a hypocrite. I don't like a hypocrite, and I don't like a liar. Clearly, y'all probably can see that. I don't like that. I don't care what it is. Like, you big and bad enough to go after this man, you better go after him too. Don't just give him a pass because you like him. Don't give him a pass because you don't like him. Like, that's weird as a grown man. Children do that. That's why they got all kinds of drama in the school building. Because you talk to them, did you ask them this? Well, they told me. Well, you got grown people going off what somebody told them. I can't do that. Well, I heard he said, did you hear it? No, they told me. Where they get it from? But they heard somebody say this, somebody say. Well, I saw it on the internet. Was it? Can't do that. They scared that what Jimmy the Greek said is coming from. I don't know. You got to break that down, Jimmy the Greek. Is that a YouTube or something? Break that down. I don't know what Jimmy the Greek is. Fast. You know, break that down. Fast. I believe that they talked to Travis and told him to let that go. Oh, for sure they told him to let that go. For sure. Because you got to think about it. They not going to get something to that trap. You got to think about that was what, the third game of the season? As soon as you go down fighting a battle that's not really what it's about, now your energy is focused on that and your attention is taken on you 3-0 after that game. And you got a bigger picture. And they gonna lure you down this trap of arguing about, hey, these people out here being dirty. And that's really what they want. That's really what they want. They want to include that. They want to kind of put you in a situation where you distracted. So sometimes it's kind of like when the civil rights movement, when it was legit racism, like it was non-questionable. They was after you because you black. They didn't want you to eat in the restaurant. They put you in the balcony at the movie theater. You couldn't drink out the water fountain. You had separate school buildings. We talking about right in your face. You couldn't vote, count these 10,000 marbles, and everything you say is wrong. Can't ride on the front of the bus. You got to walk on the back. All of that going on. They refused to take the bait. They refuse to take that bait because the bigger picture is we got to get these voting rights. The bigger picture is we got to get some treatment. And every time they spit on us and we go to fight over here, we ain't even focused on the main thing. Travis Hunter equivalent was the equivalent of somebody spitting on you while you marching. You gonna jump out of rank to go fighting and you forget about you marching. That's what it was. That don't make somebody spit on you right. That don't make him getting hit right. It's just a bigger picture. Now it really backfired because he actually got hurt. The guy probably was right. I didn't know I was gonna rupture his spleen or kidney or whatever, liver. That wasn't my goal. I hit him hard as I can. If I had hurt him for a few plays and knocked him out the game, that was what I'm just doing some ignorant stuff because that's what my coach don't hype me up to do. That's what we doing today. He probably wasn't lying, but when you do dirty stuff, you can hurt people. That's why it's rules in the game. You can't hit people below the knee. You can't horse collar because they saw I was hurting people. They start even putting in these targeting penalties because people go and hit you right in your head. That's why these things were put in place to protect people from people who were what they call bounty hunters. Well, you bounty hunter Travis Hunter. Not only did you not hit him doing a play, you hit him after the ball hit. Pretty much the whistle not been blown, but the play was dead. The ball went way out of bounds. He had stopped running. Your player stopped running, and you hit him. Even though you didn't intend to hurt him, you know the likelihood when you hit somebody is you can hurt them because they defenseless. That's why they say don't hit a defenseless receiver. Because 9 times out of 10, when people got hurt, it was when they was defenseless. You can give them a concussion. You break their ribs. They can't brace themselves. That's why rules exist in sports. So everybody be hurting people. These rules of safety. In basketball, I just can't elbow you in your mouth because I feel like it. I can't just, when you go up dunk, just tackle you and slam you on your neck and break it. It's certain stuff. That's why you got technical fouls and all of that in every sport. Hockey is rules of engagement. They exist for a reason. And when you go outside of that, you look like this. When you go outside of rules of engagement for conversation, you look like a racist. You say some stuff out of line. Everybody know you shouldn't say that. Whether you meant to be a racist or not, you're going to be called a racist. And probably rightfully so, because that was a racist mess to say. Now you're going to have to go behind it. I didn't really mean it. That's not what I meant. You got caught up in a bad situation. It happens. So, yeah, they try to direct that narrative. And Coach Prime got to direct that narrative because the best thing they can do to stop Coach Prime this year, let's talk about this year. So we talking about the hypocrisy. The best thing they can do is spin a narrative against him and have him putting out fires instead of focusing on his season. That sounds familiar, right? You trying to get ready for something. And the best thing I can do is keep you over there. And that's why he's smart enough to keep his own camera. and put his own press out, because now they can say all kinds of stuff about him. And he be fighting that instead of focus on coaching, because they don't really want him. He's a disruptor. And any disruptor is a threat. Shoot, Martin Luther King was a disruptor in the political space. Even though at one point he started off with the people. It was cool with him. All right, civil rights, we'll protect you. He hanging out with the president. And then he started talking about human rights. He was dead and gone. All right, you can talk about civil rights, but you go talk about human rights. All right, now everybody, FBI, everybody after you, because you went out of the lane. Coach Prime is in the lane. Coach Prime is a football player, a Hall of Famer. He is that guy. He's good for the sport, right? But as soon as he get into the sport and point out the flaws of that sport, it's like now you messing with the system. You was part of the system, and now you messing with the system. So you know what? We're gonna have to humble you. We'll have to strain you out, let you put you in your place. And then you go black first thing they're gonna say, oh, cause he black. That's all you know, cause he black. That's bigger than blackness. What he's doing is not affecting black people, it's affecting the sport as a whole. When he point out what's going on in the sport about NILs and and all the other stuff that's been going on for years, and he's pointing out the flaws of it, he's messing with a system that has nothing to do with skin color. Just so happens he's black. But he can always wave the black flag. Anytime a black person challenges something, most people, matter of fact, a lot of people will hire a black person or choose a black person to represent their cause, because they know you can't say nothing about him, because first thing you say, oh, they're just doing that because he's black. We see it in politics all the time. Oh, you can't say that to him because he's black. Oh, because I'm black. That's your favorite thing, because I'm black. And you can't, it's like it's hands off. But what we see with Coach Prime, he is a black man who is going against the system, and he's not necessarily using his blackness. He bring it up. He was at HBCU talking about we're gonna help the HBCU, and it blew up in his face trying to help the black people. Black people attacked him just as bad as anybody else. Now he on a bigger stage, he gonna get attacked by everybody. When he first got there, the atheists attacked him for praying. See, he wasn't even there but a month or two, and the atheists protested and all that about him praying. Too bad the coach already won that case the year before for praying, being able to pray after the game stuff. So you can't use that. But when people got differences, that's what they gonna use against you. And your black card ain't gonna work for every situation. I say that all the time. They try to distract us and keep our mind off the deal. The deal is Coach Prime is changing the game. He's not changing the game for black people. See, when he was at the black college, he was trying to help the black people, and they fell out because they lost focus on the mission. Whatever mission he had, they didn't give him the money he needed. Half the people was with him. Half of the people didn't want him to change it. They liked the raggedy system that he was going against. They liked the way it was working. He wanted to make it better. They said that ain't better to us. Maybe they were stealing money behind the scenes. Maybe he was going to expose a rat. I don't know. But he was clashing. So he got up out of there. And then as soon as he got up out of there, they said, oh, he talked about God sent him and all that, as if God gonna make you stay longer than what he say. So who you say what God say? You gonna go all that with God. So he got up out of there, went to Colorado, and everybody wishing harm on it. Oh, he left the black people, all that. He did what he did in those 2.5 years. But now he got a bigger system. He's not doing the HBCU thing. Now he's fighting a bigger system. This is a system that's changing right as he come in. Nick Saban said out like, peace out. I ain't dealing with this animal. This animal don't start growing. It's like gremlins. It was already sneaky money. If you get caught, you lose your trophies like Reggie Bush, pay up under the table. It was already a black market for this. Now we're going to make this thing legal like marijuana. We're going to make it legal. And then you come up into this NIL. Now players like, hey, they like NFL. They got NFL agents. Hey, marketing agencies. Give me $2 million and I'll come. Give me $3 million. They're going to take $3 million from a university, from one person. You can't just throw you a couple $100,000, make sure you good under the table. Now everybody come with their hand out. Now we got to raise money to pay you because the school can't pay you. We ain't making that kind of money. We already got to pay the coaches, $1 million each. Now we're gonna pay all the players that we bring in. We want 5 stars, but we got to pay each 5-star $3 million. No, NIL supposed to be like Coach Prime said, your name, image, and likeness, and them Ford truck. They getting all them cars. That's the dealership problem. They give you the car, put the logo on it, and do some videos, and you got to follow on social media. That's a business transaction. Should do it with Gatorade. He got over 1 million followers on Instagram. Plus, he got his brother doing that 500,000. We're well off, showing everything. It's a good deal to be in with Coach Prime when they got their own marketing team. So anything connected to Coach Prime is going to attract marketing dollars because they always got cameras around, and you get the crumbs of the marketing deals that Coach Prime don't get. Maybe the players will get. So that's true NIL money. That's true NIL money. That ain't like we got to come up with $3 million to pay you. How about you get this NIL deal? They pay you like sponsors do. Because you got to think about, I was just talking to one of my friends in Hollywood yesterday. I had a lot of conversation yesterday. But he's saying the entertainment industry is going through it. And he's a producer. And he's been doing it for decades. And he was like, money messed up. It's been messed up for a minute. Maybe it's going to change if the president changed. They doing stuff overseas. They say people money real funny in Hollywood. And, he was just kind of talking about how the TV networks used to do different. You had TV channels and networks got paid directly by the advertisers, right? The advertisers paid them the money to show the shows. Like we know, TV was paid by advertisers. So it was all about advertising. But he said once this streaming kicked in, these big studios bought out the networks. And now they only get paid off of the budget that the studio has. So if the studio only got enough money to do a certain amount of projects, the actors got limited gigs and the producers got limited gigs because it's based purely off of the studio's ability to pay these networks to get on stream like Hulu, and everybody got their own. Peacock got their own stream. You even see the NFL, Amazon Prime, all these streaming things no longer Fox 5, this, that. Like some of the sports are still tied to it, but the networks are under the sports. They kind of safe a little bit, but you see them starting to slide. Peacock, Amazon, they doing the same route as the TV shows. Who are now the TV shows are doing their shows up on Netflix and this and that instead of up under the actual TV network. So he was talking about how the money is different because you no longer dealing directly with the brand. So I'm thinking the next opportunity for these brands is going to be dealing with NIL because they've been kind of butted out by the studios on the TV side. So shoot, the brands going to have to start dealing with the YouTubers because they can't deal with the TV networks. It just came to my mind. The money going to be individual people like us working with the brands because the branding opportunity has been limited because of what these studios have done when it comes to TV show opportunities. Now the eyeballs are on places like this, and the brands have the opportunity to do it through there. So NIL has a future if done correctly. I can't give it to TBS, so I give it to Jordan Seaton. If he got 100,000 followers on YouTube or Instagram, TikTok. I think TikTok about to go. I don't know what's going on. What's the timeline with that? But that's what we seeing, y'all. It's the landscape is shifting, and it's kind of shifting in the favor of what Colorado is doing with Bucky. They are innovators when it comes to this reality, this new form of reality TV. That's all it is, reality TV. He editing it, but it's reality TV on a YouTube platform. Is using YouTube. The worst thing can happen is YouTube act up. They need to make sure they build their own platform. They say YouTube starts censoring and blocking them for whatever reason, because that would be the next step. We can't shut him up. We'll shut him down. So we'll shut up his platform. And being that you're using YouTube, and they can pay YouTube off and say, hey, that was offensive what you said. Now everything offensive. Go figure. That's how they can nitpick you when they're trying to get you. And, I've been doing this. I've been talking like this. Oh, so I don't know if it will get that deep. I think the best thing can happen is they win. And like somebody said earlier, then we'll see what the next phase is going to be. If they really, really hate us, they really going to turn up when he win. I already said this year going to be more exciting than last year. I think they're going to win more. And I think they learned a lot from last year on what they want to put out there. But I think even more eyeballs See, is he gonna win this year or lose? Last year was all projection of him either losing, and then once the season started, everybody jumped on the bandwagon and said, "Oh, they good." This year, the same people have to come back, just curious on is he gonna win or lose. And I think people gonna take it more serious this year than last year. They kind of got caught by surprise, and I think this year everybody gonna be watching, but they also gonna be like cautious, like, well, wait till they win at least 5 games. They're not gonna jump on the bandwagon after 2 or 3 games, but after that 4th or 5th game, they say, "Oh," and I think that's when it's gonna get exciting, and I'm gonna be right there. Greg said it. Y'all gonna be right here with me. Make sure y'all subscribe. You think this is something? Wait till the off season. I mean, wait till the season come. We just kind of just following along, seeing what's going on. I appreciate y'all for subscribing. I appreciate all the likes. Hit them like buttons, whether you live, whether you watching the replay. Make sure y'all share this thing. Make sure y'all comment. We got a long road ahead of us. This has been another Greg Said It Live. I appreciate y'all stopping through. Y'all have a wonderful Sunday. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Y'all have a good one.